Read that again. You're only as valuable as your self-control. Not your dreams. Not your words. Not your charm. Not your looks. Not your talents. Your value as a man, your real value, is chained to your ability to govern yourself. If you can't control yourself, you control nothing. And if you control nothing, you are nothing. Control or be controlled. There is no middle ground. Men lie to themselves every day. They think freedom means doing what you want, when you want, how you want. They think power means never being told no. But that's not freedom. That's not power. That's slavery. Slavery to the lowest version of yourself. When you can't stop scrolling, you're a slave. When you can't stop chasing women, you're a slave. When you can't stop eating what destroys your body, you're a slave. When you can't stop seeking validation, you're a slave. And nobody respects a slave. Not even himself. The world doesn't respect potential. It respects control. Think about the men you admire. Are they loud? Are they reckless? Do they give in to every impulse like animals? No. The men you respect have command over their emotions, over their time, over their energy, over their desires. That's why kings wore crowns. Not because of gold, but because they mastered the kingdom inside. Before ruling anything outside. You want respect? Control yourself. You want power? Control yourself. You want peace? Control yourself. Because everything you want, wealth, status, influence, love, legacy, demands a man who owns himself first. Impulse is the enemy of greatness. Every downfall in history began with a man who said yes when he should have said no. Empires crumbled because kings couldn't control lust. Legacies burned because men couldn't control greed. Families shattered because fathers couldn't control their anger. Write this into your bones. One weak moment can erase years of work. One lack of control can destroy everything you built. And most men, they live like that. They think, it's just one time. They don't realize, every decision is a brick. And what you're building is either a fortress or a coffin. Self-control is the root of respect. A man who controls nothing earns nothing. Not trust. Not admiration. Not loyalty. Even women know this. Why do you think women test men? Not because they're cruel, but because nature wants to know. Is this man in control, or is he ruled by his impulses? If he is ruled, he cannot protect. If he cannot protect, he cannot lead. And if he cannot lead, he cannot be trusted. So when you break under pressure, when you chase instead of attract, when you bark instead of act, you show weakness. And weakness is death to respect. Control isn't about denial. It's about direction. Don't twist this. Self-control isn't about killing desire. It's about commanding it. Your ambition, your hunger, your anger, your lust. They are wild horses. Uncontrolled, they drag you into chaos. Controlled, they make you unstoppable. But control isn't natural. It's forged. In silence. In discomfort. In choices no one claps for. Control is saying, I could, but I won't. I feel like it, but I won't. I'm tempted, but I won't. Not because you're weak, but because you're strong enough to choose discipline over dopamine. Without control, success will destroy you. You think your problems vanish when you get money? When you get fame? When you get women? No. They multiply. If you can't control yourself broke, you'll self-destruct rich. If you can't control your lust single, you'll burn your marriage down. If you can't control your ego now, you'll drown in pride later. Success doesn't change a man. It amplifies him. And if you're unrestrained now, the spotlight will only expose it. Every man fights two wars. One outside, with life. One inside, with himself. The first is brutal. The second decides everything. Because the man who conquers himself can never truly be conquered. And the man who doesn't will lose even when he wins. You think the enemy is out there, the economy, your boss, the haters, the competition. Wrong. The enemy is the part of you that says, just this once. Skip it today. You deserve it. No one will know. And every time you give in, that enemy grows stronger. You're leaking power every time you lose control. Every scroll you can't stop leaks power. Every argument you can't walk away from leaks power. Every urge you obey instantly leaks power. No wonder you feel weak. No wonder you feel restless. Empty. Unseen. Because your energy is scattered across 100 impulses, instead of focused like a blade. But when you master control, when you say no to distraction, and yes to discipline, the power returns. Your confidence returns. Your presence returns. Because now, when you speak, people feel the weight behind your words. Not noise. Authority. Most men will never know this feeling. They'll live soft. Die soft. Full of regrets, excuses, and wasted potential. Because they never learn the truth. Freedom is not doing what you want. Freedom is being so strong that nothing owns you. Not lust. Not anger. Not greed. Not fear. That's the kind of man people follow. That's the kind of man women respect. That's the kind of man who shapes history. Not the one who runs his mouth. Not the one who posts quotes online. The one who governs himself when no one is watching. So what now? Ask yourself this. What owns you? What impulse has its hand around your throat? Is it lust? Is it anger? Is it comfort? Is it fear? And then make war. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Now. Start small. One battle at a time. Delay the gratification. Break the pattern. Bleed for control. Because every time you win, every time you master an urge, you carve another brick into the fortress of the man you're becoming. And one day, when the storms come, and they will, you won't be shaken. Because you've already conquered the greatest enemy. You. Final truth. Your money won't define you. Your titles won't define you. Your muscles won't define you. Your ability to master yourself will. Because in this life, you're only as valuable as your self-control. And the men who get this, they don't just survive. They dominate.